Good evening, family. Good evening. Got about 20 minutes. Drop something on you. So come on in the room, hop on. You already seen two of the posts earlier. That's what it's concerning. So a lot of people don't understand and know that when you meet someone, they should already be that substance, that material. For some odd reason, people think rings and weddings make people a husband or a wife. Well, I gotta drop the boom. That is not the truth. Y'all, come on, hop on. Like, tag, and share on all your platforms, And I had to get rid of about 10 groups. We got leaders that's haters, They invite you to groups, but they don't really like the content you share, the posts that you share, your lives, the truth that you bear. So I be out, What's up, sis? What's going on with you? I hollered at Thomas the other day. He said he good. Little brother Thomas said he doing better. So, yeah. So to all you leaders, who haters on the low, don't invite me to your groups if you know you don't want the truth. See what I'm saying? And then have the videos, or the posts, in the little section that say pending. That means you didn't approve it. That means it's blocked. That means you don't want it in there. It can't be shared. So that's how I keep getting put in Facebook jail, or they monitoring the content that I share and say, you only able to share a certain amount a day. Like, what? What kind of foolishness is that? You know what I mean? Just delete me, or just come to me like a man, and say, you know what? I don't want you in my group. Fine, that's clear, that's good, But don't do the sneaky stuff, So back to what I was saying. Okay. Everybody ain't husband, wifey material, And the sad fact of the matter is, it's a lot of women of God, men of God, believers and Christians that aren't wifey or husband material too. I don't care what kind of title they got. I don't care what kind of mantle they got. I don't care what kind of education they have. The sad fact of the matter is, if that's not the fiber of their being, if that's not what God has called them to, if God has not called them to be a husband, to be a wife, they cannot be. That's why we seeing the divorce rate so skyrocket high, because we got people who have the title, but they don't have the character. They don't have the gift. They don't have the calling. They don't have the mantle. So you can go and get married 2 and 3 times all you want, You can get in as many relationships you want with people with titles and assets all you want. But if it ain't what God has joined together, it's not going to work. And then I need to make another broadcast at a later date for the superficial, unrealistic expectation Christians who saying that they are celibate, which, and I know they don't know what they saying when they say it, if they really studied it, or they abstinent, but they're waiting on their kingdom husband, their kingdom wife. Really? How that's going to happen? But you going to change your mind when you meet them? Oh, I've been celibate for 20 years. Oh, so you meet a man tomorrow and y'all going to get married? Come on, the foolery, And we got to start putting the truth in people's face, in church, on social media, so they can stop living these lies, you know. And that's something that the church has been keeping people in bondage about, teaching them lies, you know, teaching people lies. That's why we got these arranged marriages now. These arranged couple marriage, kingdom couple marriages, the so-called matter is no one individual can put you together. Only God can put you together. Only God can join you together. You know, people can introduce you to people. You know, they might, you know, network y'all too. You know, y'all might be in the same ministry, fellowship, and same church, what have you. But they can't join you together, because the joining is spiritual. It's cleaving. It's oneness, you know. Some people so superficial, they only connect with people according to criterias. And when I say criterias, these unrealistic expectations. Well, if they ain't a man of God or a woman of God, with apostle, a prophet, a bishop, a pastor, evangelist, you know, behind their name, you know, if they don't have this size church or this size ministry or this kind of following or this kind of respect or influence, you know, I can't be with them. You know, I don't want to be their wife. I don't want to be their husband. Really? Well, let me drop the boom on you about that. Most of the people that God joined together, most of the time not going to have the same titles. Not even most of the time going to have the same ministries. So we see the foolery just because you're an apostle, or you looking for an apostle. Just because you're a prophet, oh yeah, you looking for a prophet. You know, just because you're a bishop, or you looking for a pastor, you know. So y'all can get y'all ministry together and she can be your co-pastor, you know. I mean, the foolishness, you know. The fact of the matter is, marriage is ministry, you know. And that disqualifies most people, because most people don't understand the essence of the word minister. See, minister is to meet the need. That means you become a servant to your spouse. So let me drop the question on you. Since you're looking for this kingdom husband and this kingdom wife, are you ready to serve somebody for the rest of your life? Did you really think about that? You know, when you accepted that DM or that inbox or that text or that phone call, you know, or if you're just a serial dater, you know, and I want to give you a word of warning about that. You know, beware of serial daters. You got a lot of serial daters in the name of they want to get married. You know, they've been dating so long they done fell out of the loop of having the desire to get married. They really got a fear of marrying, you know, because marriage brings responsibility. It brings qualifications, you know. It requires growing up, you know. And the sad fact of the matter is, a lot of people, truth be told, are not as grown as they think they are, you know, especially when it comes to being self-sacrificing, you know, because see, we talk about having the love of Christ, but see, you got to have the love of Christ towards your partner. See, you got to possess those things, you know. You got to be willing to lay down your life. You willing to lay down your life, you know? And on that note, are you what you're seeking? See, that's another unrealistic expectation. You know, are you what you're seeking? You know? And then, you know, we, according to marriage material too, I always advise people, I always counsel people to do a spiritual checkup. because people so superficial, they only looking at the material things and asset and the exterior things, how a person look, what they drive, where they live. They don't think about their mental health. They could be HDD, ADD, schizophrenia, bipolar. They can have stuff from childhood trauma, dysfunctional parents. When you start talking about cleaving with someone, those are the things that you're going to get. You ready to minister to all that? You ready to minister to all that? Or you just want that Sunday morning experience, or you just want those pictures and those videos you see with people on cruises and visiting foreign places and going to extravagant hotels and conferences and revivals, and Zoom meetings and, all these other kind of groundbreaking things. But that ain't the reality of what comes, that you got to do the work first in the background. You got to deal with some issues. And the truth be told, most people are not good with confrontation. They don't like to be confronted about things. They don't like to have to explain themselves to anyone, especially if they never learn to communicate healthy or effectively. A lot of people can talk, but they don't know how to communicate, which is a big difference, a major difference. And I hear people say that all the time. Oh, communication is key. And then you have a conversation with them. They don't know how to communicate. They think communication is starting an argument, starting a debate, or the blame game. You gotta mature. You gotta grow up. And see, that's what's happened with these people that's watching these images of these so-called kingdom couples or power couples that they're trying to mirror. You don't know what it takes for them to stay together. And see, a lot of people are in a facade, because a lot of people get married for business deals, for ministry deals, because it's a good covering. It's a good insurance policy. It's a good look. It's good for the image. It's good for the prestige. But they don't have no relationship. They don't have no intimacy. You might see them together, doing things together, but they actually live separately, They might have a home together, but they don't sleep in the same bed. Some of them don't even sleep in the same room, And then you have others, they live in different homes, and then they meet up and come to the other home when family is going to be in town. When those buyers, those loaners, those investors, when they're ready to do a deal, when they have to go and meet with the congregation, when they have to go and meet with the deacon board and all those things, you better be aware. Everybody ain't marriage material, Everybody ain't marriage material. See, husband, you got to know that you a husband before you meet a woman. You got to know that you're a protector, a provider, You got to know that you're a covering, You got to know how to minister to her when she come home from a long day of work and she's complaining and fussing and telling you about what's happened on the job, Or she decides that she wants to go back and further her education. And then you may be the one that have to carry the bills totally while she does that, So, and then ladies, like I said on that post, you're a wife before you get the ring. You're a wife. That's why the Bible says, a man that findeth a wife. Find is a good thing. So that means when the man finds you, you should already be a wife, ready to say I do. The ring don't make you a wife. The ceremony don't make you a wife. The wedding don't make you a wife. So that's why we got all these people running to marry, but they ain't ready for the work. You know, that's why they don't stay together long. That's why the divorce rate is high as in the church as the same with the world. And see, if we take the facade off and the googly-eyed glasses and the foolishness and the unrealness, then we can help people survive. We can build stronger marriages, that build stronger communities, that build strong churches, you know. But see, they don't want this kind of preaching. They don't want this kind of teaching, you know, because it don't sound good. It ain't got no hooping and hollering to it, you know. It ain't got a money price tag tagged on it, you know. It ain't a miracle in it, you know. It ain't God got something for you in it, you know. It's responsibility, you know. It's accountability. It's God's way. And that's the thing that we've been seeing. People are getting away from God's way. You know, we already seen it with the government. We already seen it with our court system. And even in some states, you can be accounted for as married according to how long you've been living together, you know? And so we need to get back to God's standard. You know, if we say we're doing the kingdom work, you know, we need kingdom men and women that are actually representing, you know. And the ideology shouldn't be that independence override godly unions. How can that be? When God said 2 is better than 1. So that means God honor marriage over being independent. That's a whole nother conversation right there for people who like to get their shoulders off. But, oh, I'm independent. Oh, it's just me and Jesus. I'm good. You know, Jesus ain't getting in the bed with you at night. You know, Jesus ain't rubbing you the right way like Johnny Gill. You know, Jesus ain't, I ain't gonna go there. But the foolery, you know. We used to hear people say that growing up in church, sounding so sanctified, sounding so holy, sounding so spiritual. It's just me and Jesus. It's not just you and Jesus. You know, talk about them toys you got. Talk about them battery men you got. Talk about them people who sneak in your house at night. Talk about them people that you meet up with for them conferences, for them revivals, you know, outside of town. So people think you single because nobody resides with you, because nobody cohabitates with you, you know, because you're not shacking, as they say. You know, that don't make you no better. That don't make you no more holy. You know, people need to be taught right, you know. But see, that's why we need real bishops that's really teaching people sound doctrine so they can get away from all this foolishness and this error that they've been brought up in, you know, so they can really get delivered. You know, see, deliverance is not just from drinking and smoking and fornicating. A lot of people got a lot of spiritual bondage that need to get delivered from, you know, before you say I do, you know, because a lot of people going in these marriages with the concepts that they were taught growing up and taught in their churches, taught in their denominationalism, and all this other foolishness that they need to get delivered from so they can find out who they really are in God, you know, and that's a sad thing. It's a sad thing to meet somebody and they don't know who they are in God because they've been so fabricated by what their pastor said, what their bishop said, what their apostle said, and they have no individuality. You know, you start asking them who they are as a person, they don't know. And it's sad that, it's very sad that you got some people that are so heavenly minded that they know earthly good. Every time you try to embark on a conversation, praise the Lord, how you do? You thank you, Jesus. You know, oh, I'm praying for you. Bless you, man. God bless you. That ain't you 24/7. You don't have no personality. That's why these marriages not working. You got no personality. You ain't got no character. You know? You're going to have character. You don't pray 24/7. You don't read the Bible 24/7. You don't go to church 24/7. You get the point? You know? And many of you done met some great women and some great men and then ran them off, you know, because your whole conversation is religious or spiritual. Don't nobody want somebody like that. God got a personality he gave you. He gave you individualism also. He gave you a brain to think, and he wants you to use it. That's why you need to do a spiritual checkup when you meet these people, so you'll know if they marriage material or not. So I think that's about almost my 20 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up. Like, tag, and share. Y'all can put other things y'all need in the comment section. Or if y'all continue this on also, marriage material, you know. You can tag me in it, you know. If you need counseling, advice, what have you, point you in the right direction, let me know. We got a platform, Ready to Say I Do. About 80,000 members, you know. We handle subjects and topics for singles, married, divorced, widowed, all that, you know. So this ain't something that I just come up with off the top of my head, you know. So let's make sure that we are what we preaching, that we the kingdom husband, we the kingdom wife, that somebody is looking for to say I do to for the rest of our lives. Grace and peace be unto you. It's your boy, your brother, your bishop. Holla at you. See you out there in Facebook land. Thank you for interacting on all the open topics and all the other topics to post. Thank you for joining the live. Blessings to all of you that spoke, that came on. One love to you. I'm out. Peace.